Good day, everyone. Welcome to Emotions and Stories. Welcome to the third part of this week. The story is called The Seed in the City. When the final applause faded and the lights dimmed on the stage of Gulmoharwadi Primary School, a boy in the audience remained seated longer than most. His name was Arjun, a lanky, bespectacled 11-year-old visiting from Mumbai, and he was spellbound. The play he had just watched, Sapno Ka Beej, had ignited something deep inside him. In a city where everything moved fast, cars, people, even time, he had never seen children speak so slowly, dance so freely, or look so connected to something real. That was quite a magic in the air, and he wanted to take a piece of it home. As the audience dispersed, Arjun approached Arav and Meena, still dressed in their play costumes. "That was beautiful," Arjun said, his voice soft. Meena smiled, still flushed from the performance. "Thank you. First time watching a village school play?" "First time in a village," Arjun admitted. "Everything feels so alive here." Arav nodded. "You noticed that too?" Arjun hesitated. Would it be silly to ask, is the story real? About the tree, the promises, the magic? Arav and Meena exchanged a glance. Then Arav smiled and held out a small pouch. Inside was a single yellow mango seed wrapped in a scrap of cotton cloth. "Every story has a seed of truth," Arav said. "It's up to you what you grow with it." Arjun stared at the seed in wonder. "Thank you. I'll try to grow something special." Back in Mumbai, Arjun felt the contrast like a slap. The moment his train pulled into the station, the sound of horns, shouting vendors, screeching brakes, and the metallic screech of trains returning home swallowed him whole. His parents barely noticed the mango seed tucked safely in his shirt pocket. Their high-rise apartment in Andheri was modern and efficient, but grey, cold, and far from magic. Still, Arjun was determined. On the Sunday morning, while the rest of the city rushed to the malls or cricket fields, Arjun climbed up to his terrace, cleared a dusty corner, and gently planted the mango seed into a recycled paint bucket filled with soil. "No gold," he whispered, "no magic, just patience." He watered it gently and added a small nameplate made from a popsicle stick. "Tree of Light version 2.0. The first few weeks were hard. Nothing grew. Arjun waited. He watered it every morning, even on days when he had early school or stayed up late doing homework. He read online forums, watched YouTube gardening tutorials, and even downloaded a plant tracker app. His classmates teased him. "Tree of Light? Huh, sounds like a video game. You'll be in college by the time a mango grows," laughed another. But Arjun didn't care. He had made a promise. Then one day, on a particularly gloomy Tuesday, he spotted something. A tiny green curl pushing through the soil. At first he thought it was a weed, but when he gently touched it, he felt a tiny pulse. Not literal, but like it belonged. He ran downstairs, shouting, "Ma, Dad, it's growing! The seed, it's alive!" His mother was on a call. His father was scrolling stock prices. "Good beta," she said, "now eat breakfast." But Arjun didn't mind. He had the tree's attention, and that was enough. In the weeks that followed, the sapling grew, slowly but surely. Arjun felt it, compost from the kitchen, learned about organic fertilizers, and even built a small protective frame from old broomsticks to shield it from pigeons. Every evening after homework, he'd sit next to the pot, open his notebook, and write updates to Arav and Meena. He hadn't sent any of them. He didn't even have their address, but writing to them felt like magic itself. One evening, under a hazy orange sunset, he wrote, Day 54. The first real leaf opened today. It looks like a little green flag. I think she's happy. I've named her Chandni. I hope that's okay. By now, something unexpected had begun to happen. Arjun's quiet project had caught the eye of other residents in the building. First, it was the old watchman who started offering advice in Marathi. Then came the grumpy auntie from the 7th floor who bought him a bottle of homemade neem spray to keep the bugs away. A little girl named Kiara, who usually never spoke to anyone, shyly asked, "Can I help water it?" Arjun nodded, and so the tree of light became everyone's project. But not all stories grow without obstacles. One night in July, the sky opened up in a violent monsoon storm. Winds howled, windows banged, power flickered. In the chaos, Arjun couldn't reach the terrace. The door had been locked for safety. He begged, "Please let me check my plant, just 5 minutes." His father shook his head. "We'll check in the morning, it is dangerous right now." Arjun sat by the windows, heart pounding. He could only imagine Chandni, shivering, trying to hold her roots steady against the wind. When dawn finally broke, Arjun raced up the stairs. The terrace was soaked. The protected frame had collapsed. The paint bucket had toppled. Chandni lay sideways, leaves torn, one side bruised. "No, no, no," Arjun whispered, gently propping up her again. He scooped the wet soil back into place, whispered apologies to the leaves, and pressed his palms together. "I promised I'd protect you." That night, he wrote his first letter with tear stains. Day 78. "She's hurt. I failed her. Maybe I wasn't ready for the magic at all." But the tree was braver than he realized. By the end of the week, a new shoot appeared from the side. The broken leaves dried and fell away, but the stem stayed firm, resilient. "She wants to live," the watchman said quietly. "Bas प्यार चाहिए." Love was all Arjun had. In the months that followed, Arjun turned his terrace into a mini jungle. Inspired by Chandni, he added tulsi, tomatoes, marigolds, and even tried growing spinach in water bottles. He started a blog, seedstory.in, document Chandni's growth, share tips, and encourage other kids to grow something, anything. To his surprise, people responded. One girl in Kashmir commented, "We only have snow. Can I grow something indoors?" Arjun replied, "Magic grows when you feed it." The girl's name was Zoya, and her story would come next. One fine winter morning, Arjun woke up to find a small envelope outside his door. Inside was a hand-painted postcard. On it was a snow-covered greenhouse, a smiling girl in a wool hat, and in her gloved hands a tiny sapling. On the back were 3 words: "Magic travels fast." Good things take time. Nature rewards patience, care, and quiet hope. We hope you like the story. Stay connected for the story of Zoya tomorrow. Bye bye. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.